The crown medal is something Revenant gives the Duchess during her quest. When you first see it, it doesn't look like much, just another item, right? But you know me, I don't let stuff like that slide without a second look. If you really study it, there is something interesting going on. The medal has got 4 triquetra symbols on it, and if you are familiar with Elden Ring's card content, those shapes will ring a bell. They look just like the entwining umbilical cord, that item that never made it into the final game. You can actually map out 4 cords in the design of the crown medal. A bigger one and 3 smaller ones around the bigger one. So, why does the crown medal matter? Well, to answer that, we've got to talk about Revenant. If you've been paying attention to Revenant's story, you've probably started noticing some things. Revenant is basically Nightreign's Ranni. There are a couple of things in the game that makes this pretty clear. First, Revenant was a doll brought to life by the soul of a girl named Daphne, who came from the Northern Croft family, a line of puppet masters. And if that sounds familiar, it should. Ranni also inhabits a doll, one that is modeled after the Snow Witch. Then there is the Radagon connection. Revenant is first seen staring at Radagon's portrait in the Round Table Hold. Now, why that scene? One possible reason is that both Revenant and Radagon are souls in borrowed bodies. I have had a theory for a while that the body we see Radagon in isn't his original body. It might be something Marika made to hold his soul. That's still speculation on my part, so take it with a grain of salt until I get into that properly in part 2 of our Marika video. Another take is that the game developers wanted us to make that link between Revenant and Ranni ourselves, using Radagon as the thread, since he is Ranni's father. And if that is the case, it loops us right back to the crown medal. That medal's design isn't just pretty art. Those triquetra shapes have deep roots. Across a bunch of traditions, the triquetra shows up as a symbol of earth, sea, and sky, or the physical, spiritual, and divine. In Wicca traditions or religion, it's the sign of the Triple Goddess, Maiden, Mother, and Crone. I will touch more on that in a bit, but even outside religion or mythology, the triquetra reflects a cycle we all recognize: birth, death, and rebirth. Elden Ring, and I mean the base game, the DLC, and Nightreign, loves using the number 3. You see, it shows up everywhere. Nightreign itself takes place over 3 days. In the crypt under the Round Table Hold in Nightreign, there are 8 stone coffins, but 3 of them have tattered cloth draped over them. That feels intentional. Then there is the triquetra symbol that appears in the Elden Ring itself. How about the secret rite scroll from the Shadow of Air tree, which mentions 3 things needed to reach godhood: a Lord's soul, a vessel for that soul, and a God, which translates to body, soul, and spirit. It doesn't even stop there. Raya Lucaria has 3 rises. Then we talk about the eternal cities. We've got Nokron, Noxtella, and the Nameless City, making up 3 eternal cities. Even with the spirit wolves, that number pops up again. Ranni gives us spirit ashes that can summon 3 wolves, and the mural in Farum Azula shows 3 wolves. Now, let's bring it back to Revenant and the triquetra on the crown medal. I think it's meant to represent the bond between the Triple Goddess, Maiden, Mother, and Crone. With Ranni, that connection is pretty clear. Renala is her mother, but during the boss fight intro, it feels like Ranni is actually speaking through her.
My name is Ranni the Witch. Send word far and wide of the last queen of Caria, Renala of the full moon, and the majesty of the night she conjureth.
Then there is the doll Ranni uses, which looks just like her older mentor, the Snowy Crone Witch. So Ranni kind of embodies all 3 figures. She's the maiden, the mother, and the crone. Revenant's version of the Triple Goddess is a bit more complex, but let's try to map it out. One way to look at it is Daphne, the little girl, is the maiden. If Daphne had a mother who was presumably murdered by the same man who murdered her, then that person would play the role of the mother goddess. And the doll Daphne ends up inhabiting would be the crone. Or maybe there is another reading. Maybe Daphne is actually the mother figure, the doll is the maiden, and Recluse, the witch who guides Revenant, takes the role of the crone. Think about it. Ranni had the Snow Witch. Revenant has Recluse the witch. That parallel might not be a coincidence. That's my first take on the subject, but there's much more to come. I will be releasing a longer video exploring Revenant's lore in depth, so stay tuned. But before we close this chapter, I have got a question for you. Do you know other moments in the game or in Elden Ring where the number 3 plays a role? Drop them in the comments. I appreciate you watching. See you in the next one.